And here I would contains my the first setting points. Well, okay. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and I am here with you. Accordance with titles and thumbnails, today we are roasting Keir Stammers in the topic of Iranian revolutionary terrorists, and particularly West versus Iran. And here we can compare the Keir Stammers versus Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, now first of all, here is my points. Now, what is the point of this? Her point is happy Easter Sundays, and where we wish you Easter Sunday would be very good and none of evil would not touch you. Okay, and now let's see. And in these points, we could see the when the topic is to eliminate Iranian revolutionary terrorists. Here the point is now I am trying to discuss that how Keir Starmer is anti-Christ for England when today's day is Easter Sunday. Okay. Well, and now here we can see this moment. First of points. Here I would mention what is the topic. Well, and here we could see at the moment topic is Benjamin Netanyahu versus Keir Starmer. Okay, and now let's see. Here we can see the arrival is oh my God, Rishma Banti. Uh, your comment is very beautiful. Now let's see. Here arrival is Bandar Abbas, port of Iran. Okay. Now let's see what is Benjamin Netanyahu's departure. Benjamin Netanyahu departure. Departure is Tel Aviv is Israel. And now, on the other hand, what is Keir Starmer departures? Keir Starmer departure is London, the capital city of England. Okay. Well, now let's check it. Netanyahu Israeli F-16 velocity is what? That is 21,000 kilometer per second. Where flying distance What is the flying distance? Flying distance is 21,000 kilometer. Now let's check it. On the other hand, what is Keir Starmer's British F-35 velocity? Keir Starmer F well British F-35 distance is uh, well 4,000 kilometer. On the other hand, what is the velocity? Well, velocity is 40 kilometer per hours. Okay, and now here is the points I would like to tell you that what is the meaning of that. Okay, well, now first of that, here we can see why, when we are talking about the flying distance, that the departure is Tel Aviv, Israel, and arrival is Bandar Abbas, port of Iran. And now the flying distance for Israeli F-16. Well, now here I can some significant problems about the networks, because here we contain some network disturbance. Well, now here that is the moments when we are talking about the significant points. Where departure is Tel Aviv, Israel. I mean Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel. Arrival is what? Arrival is here Bandar Abbas, the port of Iran. Now, when we are talking the points here, Bandar Abbas, the port of Iran, flying distance is 21,000 kilometers. Now, in these moments, Benjamin Netanyahu's flying distance velocity is 21,000 kilometer per second. And here, what is the meanings? Well, here the point is, departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, April 5, 2026. Hence, the arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, April 5, 2026. And now, it is the significant points. But now, here we could see uh, what is the perception of about the Keir Starmer. Now let's talk about Keir Starmer's perceptions. Now, when we are talking about the Keir Starmer's perceptions, here the direct flying distance between London, the capital city of England, and Port Bandar Abbas, the port of Iran, is 4,000 kilometers. Well, here British F-35 flying distance is, I mean here British F-35 flying velocity is almost 40 kilometer per hours. Okay. Now here we can see that is the significant moments. Where is 10,000? Okay. Where is the velocity of 21,000 kilometer per seconds, and where is velocity of 40 kilometer per hours? And on the other hand, when we are talking about F-35 fighter planes, here 40 kilometer per hours of velocity can bring a questions. And the question is, under the Prime Minister of Keir Starmer, is British F-35 is F-35 planes or any cow pulling cars? And that is the questions. But on the other hand, under the Prime Minister of Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli F-16 fighter planes is one of the best F-16 fighter planes of the world because of the velocity of 21,000 kilometers per second. Okay, now let's talk about the British F-35 planes velocity of 40 kilometers per hour under the Prime Minister of Keir Starmer. Okay, now let's talk it. What is the meaning of that? Here meaning is the crystalline significance. Uh, okay. Here departure time is morning 6 o'clock, April 5, 2026. But now we know there's what is 4,000 divided by 40, that is 100 hours. What is 100 hours? That is 8 day 4 hours. That means here arrival time would be April 13, 2026 at morning 10 o'clock. Okay. Now, when the departure time is morning 6 o'clock, April 5, 2026. Now, where is April 6 o'clock? April 5, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, 1 second pass as arrival times. And where is April 13, 2026 at morning 10 o'clock as arrival times. And in these moments, that is the significant points, and that is the significant advantage or disadvantage for uh, Iranian revolutionary terrorists. Now, what is the points? Here, the point is I can mention one. Well, now let's talk about the points. Here, our point is beautiful. Uh, well, and here, when we are talking about British F-35 fighter planes under the Prime Minister of Keir Starmer, Iranian revolutionary terrorists at Bandar Abbas got the significant preparation time of 8 day 4 hours to fight against British F-35 fighter jets. But when we are talking about Israeli F-16 fighter jets under Benjamin Netanyahu, hence Iranian revolutionary terrorists in Bandar Abbas contains no preparation time to escape from the attack of Israeli F-16 fighter planes. What is the cause? Here, the cause is the significance. Well, I would mention the cause. Well, now we can see the significant cause is Benjamin Netanyahu can fight against Iranian revolutionary terrorists. Here, Israeli F-16 fighter planes velocity is 21,000 kilometer per second, where flying distance is 21,000 kilometers. And here, that is the moments. But Israel departure time is now, and arrival time is 1 second later. Here, Iranian revolutionary naval terrorist at Bandar Abbas contains no clue that how we can prepare to defend ourselves. Okay. Now here we can say Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is better than the Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England. And now sometimes the honorable innocent citizen of England believes that they are wrong to elect Keir Starmer as a Prime Minister of England. Okay. Now here we can see that is the second point. Well, and now here is the moments where is the topic of the Antichrist versus Prochrist. Okay. Well, Benjamin Netanyahu support the Christian society because Israeli Christian soldier can contain the Israeli F-16 fighter planes with the velocity of 21,000 km per second. But what about British F-35? Well, when the Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister of England, British Christian soldiers should contain the F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 40 km per hour. Now, when the distance is 4,000 km between uh, England versus Bandar Abbas, the port of Iran, here who is the Christian Prime Minister to allow the Christian soldiers to contain 40 km per hour? It is not possible that a Christian Prime Minister would allow 40 kilometer per hour velocity of F-35 planes. But every Christian would appreciate his honorable prime ministers, national prime minister, because he can get F-16 fighter planes with the velocity of 21,000 km per second. And here, that is the ways the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is a Jewish man, but still, Israeli Prime Minister supports the Israeli Christian soldiers of the Israeli Air Force. But what about British Christian soldiers of the British Air Force? They are helpless because of the Antichrist Prime Minister of England, and that is the West. Okay, and now here we have now I think we have mentioned the velocity, we have mentioned the travel time, and now let's check it. The mention of what? Let's check what is the points of kinetic powers. Okay. Well. And here I can check it the moments. Well, I think it would be better to see it. Well, well, just wait and watch. Otherwise, okay. And now here is moments. Well, Allahumma Netanyahu. Now here we can see Netanyahu F-16 kinetic power. And here we can see as the significant points. I think what is the moments? That is what is the calculation? That is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 21 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square. Okay. And now just wait and watch. Well, let's check it. How we could calculate like this? Because we know the here what is the equations of kinetic powers, that is half of weight of Israeli F-16 fighter planes multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. And now we could see that here flying distance is 21,000 kilometers, and here half of weight of Israeli F-16 fighter planes is 10 to the power 5 kilograms as a half of weight. But wait a minute. Well, the velocity is 21,000 kilometers per second, where flying distance is 21,000 kilometers. As we can observe, the flying time is 1 second. Well, what is and what is the circumstance of the observations? We can observe that here flying time square equal to flying time cube equal to flying time to the power 7 equal to flying time to the power triple six. What is the cause? The cause is 1 square equal to 1 cube equal to 1 to the power 7 equal to 1 to the power triple six is always 1. Well, now here we could see the kinetic power is kinetic energy. Here equation is half of weight of Israeli F-16 fighter planes multiplied by distance square. Okay. And here we can check the points. What is the flying distance? That is 21,000 kilometers. What is 21,000 kilometers? That is 21 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. Well, now hence, what is the flying distance square? Here flying distance square is 21 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square. Now we could see there's here a moments 21 square is 441 and 10 to the power 6 square is 10 to the power 12. And here we could observe that what is 10 to the power 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 5? That is 10 to the power 17. Hence, the kinetic powers of Israeli F-16 fighter planes is 441 multiplied by 10 to the power 17. That means it is, we can say, at the significant points 44.1, well, trillion megawatt. Okay. And now it is the points of Benjamin Netanyahu's Israeli F-16 fighter planes kinetic powers, that is 44.1 trillion megawatts. And now when you contains 44.1 trillion megawatts of your F-16 fighter planes kinetic powers, here distance is for 21,000 kilometers away, enemy would be scared of you. He would contains no clue to escape the attack from you or your F-16 fighter planes. But now it is one side of way. But now let's talk about the points. What is another side? And the another side is Keir Starmer side. Well, let's check it. Okay. Now here we could see Keir Starmer F-35 kinetic power P. What is the calculations? That is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 4 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square. Just and now let's check it. We contain some several points. Okay. Well, now here we could see that is the points. What is 4 square? That is 16. Well, here we know the what is the British F-35 kinetic powers equations. That is half of weight of F-35 of England multiplied by flying distance square divided by flying time cube. Okay. Now here we can see flying distance is 4,000 kilometers. What is 4,000 kilometers? That is 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. Hence, flying distance square is 4,000 kilo. When flying distance square is 4 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square meter square. That is 16 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter. And we know the half of weight of British F-35 planes, that is 10 to the power 5 kilograms. But now let's check it. What is the significant moments? Here we could see the significant moments is difficult. Here the significant moments is like 10 to what is 10 to the power 6? Well, here we could say the velocity is 40 km per hour, where flying distance is 4,000 kilometers. Hence, we know the flying timing is 100 hours. Now let's convert 100 hours to second, that is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Hence, flying time cube is 36 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 4 cubes. Okay? Now let's check it. What is 10 to the power 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 5? That is 10 to the power 17. And what is divisions? What is 10 to the power 4 cube? That is 10 to the power 12. Now let's check it. What is 10 to the power 6 square divided by 10 to the power 4 cube? That is 1. And here the calculation is significant. That is here 10 to the power 5 divided by 6 to the power 6, because 36 cube is 6 to the power 6. Hence we can say that is the moments. What is the 6 to the power 6? That is 45,656. And here it is round figure of 50,000. Well, 10 to the power 5 divided by 5 divided by 10 to the power 4. Okay. And now here we can see 10 divided by 5. That is almost 2 watt. Okay. Well, and now let's check it. Here is the moments. What about the kinetic powers at the points? Well, now here I can say what is the difference between Antichrist versus Christian supporters. Christian supporters. Well, here I can say the reasons that why I can mention Benjamin Netanyahu as a Christian supporter, because several Christian soldiers serve in Israeli Air Force, and now several Christian soldiers contains Israeli F-16 fighter planes with the velocity of 21,000 km per second. And hence, here is the points. The F-16 fighter planes can contains the kinetic powers of almost 44.1 trillion megawatts. Okay. Now here we can see when I am a Christian, I mean when I can demonstrate myself as a Christian in today's day of the Easter Sunday. And here we can say the points. A Christian soldier can be pleased if and only if his honorable Prime Minister would provide him a F-16 fighter planes with the kinetic powers of 44.1 trillion megawatts, just because of the velocity of 21,000 kilometer per seconds. And now it is it is a place for national Christian soldiers. Here, Benjamin Netanyahu provide uh, his Christian Israeli soldiers as a F-16 fighter planes with the kinetic powers of 44.1 trillion megawatts with a velocity of 21,000 kilometers per second. And now here we can see, well, once in the journey of 1 second, Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas would be clueless that how to escape the attack from Israeli F-16 fighter jets. Okay, and here that is the moments as we could see. But on the other hand, let's talk about the points. When the Prime Minister would be Keir Starmer as the Prime Minister of England, here British F-35 fighter planes would contain the kinetic powers of 2 watts. How is that possible? Because, well, here distance is 4,000 kilometers, but here flying velocity is 40 kilometer per hours. And now let's check it. Where is the F-16 fighter, Israeli F-16 fighter planes with the kinetic power of 44.1 trillion megawatts, and where is British F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of almost 20 2 watts. And here we can see the Benjamin Netanyahu at the kinetic powers of F-16 fighter planes. Benjamin Netanyahu is almost uh, 22.05 thousand quadrillion times powerful than Keir Starmer. And that is the moment at the points. Oh, and here is the one thing, the moments we can say the points. Now, if a Christian soldiers like me can contest F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 2 watts, it is almost the embarrassing for me because uh, in the this level of kinetic powers, I cannot defend myself from the enemy air force. And this level of curse is provided by Keir Starmer, where Keir Starmer is a self-claimed British Christian, where Benjamin Netanyahu is a proud Jewish Israeli. Okay. Notwithstanding a Jewish Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu support Israeli Christian soldiers with F-16 fighter planes, where velocity is 21,000 kilometers and the kinetic power is 44.1 trillion megawatts. And this is the highest blaze. But now I think I provide the flying distance of 21,000 kilometers to Benjamin Netanyahu and 4,000 kilometers to Keir Starmer. Well, let's check it. Let's say the points. Here, Benjamin Netanyahu's flying distance would be 4,000 kilometers and Keir Starmer's flying distance would be 4,000 kilometers. Okay? Well, and now let's check it. What is happening? Well, here we can see we know the kinetic and the equations of kinetic power is the equations of kinetic energy divided by travel times. Okay. Now, what is the travel time at the points? Well, when the flying velocity is 21,000 kilometers and flying time is almost here 4,000 kilometers, we can calculate it 4,000 divided by 21,000. That means 8 divided by 42. Okay. And now, what is 42 divided by 8? That well, here we can see the 40 divided by 8 is 5. That means it would be like 0.2 seconds. Okay. Now let's check it. The moments. Uh, Here, what is 1 divided by 5.4 seconds? And here, let's check it. What is the calculations? The calculation is 100,000 kilograms multiplied by 21,000 kilometer entire square divided by, I apologize. Here we can see 10 to the calculation is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 21 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square enter divided by bracket of here 1 divided by 5.4 bracket close. That means here we can see the points 5.4 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 21 square multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square. And here we can see the points is 44.1 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 multiplied by 5.4. Okay. Now let's check it. What is 441 multiplied by 5? That is 2205. Okay. Now let's check it. What is 441 multiplied by 4? That is 1700. 1764. Okay. Now now let's say check it. 441 multiplied by 0.4 is 176.4. Now let's check it. What is 205 multiplied by 176? Well, that is 381. Hence, the Israeli kinetic powers, Israeli F-16 fighter planes kinetic power is 2381.4 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 watts. That means 238.14 trillion megawatts. Okay. It is here the points. It is the kinetic powers of Israel where flying distance is 2 kilometer. I apologize, 4,000 kilometers, and the flying velocity is 21,000 kilometer per second. Well, but now here the point is still British F-35 planes under Keir Starmer's contains the kinetic powers of 2 watts. Here we have calculated. Okay, and now here we can see that when the both of Israel and England contains the flying distance of 5,000, 4,000 kilometers to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas port of Iran. Here, Israeli F-16 fighter planes under Benjamin Netanyahu contains the kinetic powers of 238.14 trillion megawatts, where British F-35 fighter planes contains the kinetic powers of 2 watts. Now, where is 238.14 trillion megawatts, and where is 2 hours? And here we can see 230. What is 240 divided by 2? That is 120. That means in these moments, Benjamin Netanyahu is 120,000 quadrillion times more powerful than Keir Starmer. Okay. Now, when we can see the points as a Christian soldiers, here when our purpose is to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists at the Bandar Abbas, when my distance is 4,000 kilometers, and here when some our honorable Jewish Prime Minister would provide me an F-16 fighter planes with the kinetic powers of 238.14 trillion megawatts. This is the bliss for me. But where the Christian Prime Minister would provide me F-35 fighter planes with the kinetic powers of 2 hours, that is the curse. Well, and now here we can see that who is blessing, Benjamin Netanyahu or Keir Starmer. And here we could see that Benjamin Netanyahu is more blessing than Keir Starmer, because notwithstanding being a Jewish prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu support Israeli Christian soldiers, where uh, British Christian soldiers could not get the support from the Christian Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Now let's check it. Who is the Antichrist? Keir Starmer or Benjamin Netanyahu? Here I can see this. Keir Starmer is the Antichrist. But now, here some of the Pakistani Christians say, well, Benjamin Netanyahu is Antichrist because Benjamin Netanyahu is fighting against Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists, Falana, Dimkana, etc. But the reality is, well, as an Israeli Christian soldier, I can get 280, I mean 238.14 trillion megawatts of F-35 fighter planes. It is as a Christian soldiers of Israeli Air Force, it is a blessing or curse. And the, well, a person can provide me the 200 the F-16 fighter planes with the kinetic powers of 239 trillion megawatts, and another persons provide me the F-35 fighter planes with kinetic powers of 2 watts. Who is Antichrist? First person or second person? Okay. And now let's talk about the moments. And now let's check it. The second point is Netanyahu F-16 fuel. Okay. Netanyahu F-16 fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with temperature of, well, 400 multiplied by 10 to the power triple 6,666 degrees Celsius. And now let's check it. What is the fuel weight? Well, let's check it. The calculation of fuel weight. 441 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 divided by what is the moments? Well, 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 400 multiplied by 10 to the power triple 6,666 degrees Celsius. Okay, and now here we can see. Let's check the points. Well, what is the kinetic powers? Well, here we can see what is 20,000. 20,000 is 20,000 joule per kilogram per kelvins of the specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And here I have mentioned the temperatures. Okay. Now let's see the calculations for it. Well, what is 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 100? That is 10 to the power 6. Let's check it the points. What is 66 multiple? I mean, here we can say, what is 66 sum by 6? That is 72. What is 72 subtract by 17? That is 62 subtract by 7. That is 55. And here we can say, that is the points. The calculations became 441 divided by, well, 8 divided by 10 to the power triple 655. That is the points. What is 441 divided by 8? That is 440 divided by 8 enter sum by 1 divided by 8. We know that 1 divided by 8 is here 0.125. Well, now let's take it. What is 440 divided by 8? That is 55. Hence, here calculation is 55.125. Well, here we can say, I can miscalculate at the moments. Well, 55.125 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 655 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And that is the significant weights at the moments. And here we can see that is the calculations as we can see. But now let's talk about the points. What if the kinetic powers would be? Well, for 238.14 trillion megawatts. But now here fuel weight is the calculation at the ratio of kinetic energy divided by thermal energy. And it is not kinetic power divided by thermal powers. Hence, here we can see velocity is 21,000 kilometer per seconds. It does not matter here. Flying distance would be 21,000 kilometers or 4,000 kilometers. But here kinetic energy would be same, but kinetic powers would be different. Okay. If here velocity would be 21,000 kilometer per seconds, kinetic power is 238.14 trillion megawatts. Still, the kinetic energy would be 441 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 joules. And here, fuel weight would be, what is the fuel weight? Here, fuel weight would be like 55.125 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six 655 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. Okay. Now it is the points. A pro-Christian prime minister can provide the Christian soldiers a F-16 fighter planes where fuel system is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius. Well, and here Antichrist would provide Christian soldiers a F-35 planes where fuel system would be petrols. Okay, and here in this fuel system, Keir Starmer played the roles of anti-national, I mean antichrist. And how I can say it? Let's check it the points. Well, now here we can see Keir Starmer F-35 fuel system would be petrol. Here, Nash, well, crash fuel volume. Well, what is the crash fuel volume? Here, that is two. Well, here we can see the points 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 divided by bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.8. And now here is the moments, that is the points. What is the meaning of 0.8? Here petrol density is 0.8 kilogram per liters. Well, at the accurate density is value is 0.778 kilogram per liters. But since we contains lack of calculators, and here we would consider as 0.8. Okay. And now let's check it the moments. Here the significant points, as we could see, what is 100? That is the multiplication between petrol specific heat by petrol temperature distance, where petrol specific heat is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin and petrol dense temperature difference is 50 degrees Celsius. Now 2 multiplied by 50 is always 100. And here let's check the calculations. 100 divide, 100 multiplied by 0.8 is 80. Okay. Now here calculation is 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 enter divided by 80. That means here 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 divided by 8. Okay. Now let's check the moments. Well, what is 36 divided by 4? That is 9. And what is 72 divided by 8? That is 9. That is, here we can say the calculations became almost 9,000 liter of petrol. Okay. Now let's check it the moments. Antichrist. Antichrist fuel volume. Here we can see these points. Well, 16 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 divided by 100 multiplied by 0.8. Okay. Now why now here is my questions. Why am I writing 16 multiplied by 17? Okay. Now British F-35 fighter planes velocity would be 40 kilometer per hours when British F-35 fighter planes would eliminate Iranian revolutionary terrorists in Bandar Abbas under the period of Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England. But when Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, would desire to protect the Iranian revolutionary terrorists, here we can see that the velocity becomes 4,000 km per second. And here we can see the points. 4 square is 16e, 10 to the power 6 square is 10 to the power 12, and 10 to the power 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 is 10 to the power 17e. And here the answer is kinetic power becomes 16e multiplied by 10 to the power 17e. Okay. Now we know that here calculation is 16e multiplied by 10 to the power 17e is divided by 80. That is here we can say 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 liters of petrols. Well, in the words, that is what? That is here 20 quadrillion liters of petrols. Okay. And round figure, we can say the 21 quadrillion liters of petrols. Okay. Now, well, let's check it 20 quadrillion liter of petrols. Here, what is the cost of the petrols? That is 2 United States dollars per liters. Now when we can see there's a here the petrol expenditure requires that 40 quadrillion United States dollars that would be paid by whom? That would be paid by Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England. Uh, and where is the purpose? The purpose is to protect Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas, port of Iran, where Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists is the enemy of England. Okay, but now let's check it. What is the significant points? And here we can see that Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists would be protected by British F-35 fighter planes. Here, hence, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, can spend 40 quadrillion United States of dollars. But where the entire gross domestic products of England is 3 trillion United States dollars. And here we can see what is 4,000, what is 40,000 divided by 3? Well, here round figure is 13,000 triple three. Okay, 0.33 continues. That means here we can notify Keir Starmer is ready to destroy gross domestic products of England in 13,334 times to protect Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas port of Iran with the velocity of 4,000 km per second, where Keir Starmer did not afford even 80 km per hour of velocity of F-35 fighter planes to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists. Well, now let's check it. Who is Antichrist? prime minister. And the definitions of Antichrist prime minister is the prime ministers who want to protect the enemy of Christian country or the national country where Christian citizens live in. Okay. Now here we can see, here we can see the perfect example. What is perfect example at the points? Here the perfect example we could see Benjamin Netanyahu is pro-Christian Israeli because notwithstanding being a Jewish prime minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu provide a F-16 fighter planes to Israeli soldiers to be Christians, where F-16 fighter planes contains the velocity of 21,000 kilometers per second, and where purpose is to eliminate uh, Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas port of Iran. But when we can see the topic about whom, when we can see the final topics where Bandar Abbas, when we can see the a Christian country, England, Keir Starmers provide British Christian soldiers and F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 40 km per hour to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists. Where, as an woke Muslim terrorist living in England, Keir Starmer provide woke Muslim militants F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 4,000 km per hour seconds, 4,000 km per seconds to protect Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists, where Iranian revolutionary naval terrorist is the enemy of the sovereignty of Christian country England. And here we could see that is the significant points. Who is Antichrist? Keir Starmer or Benjamin Netanyahu? Here I can see this. Keir Starmer is Antichrist both for England Christians and the entire world. Because here Keir Starmer contains F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 40 km per hour to eliminate Iranian terrorists, but contains 4,000 km per second of the velocity of F-35 planes to protect Iranian terrorists. And here we can see that is the in the purpose, Keir Starmer is ready to destroy the entire gross domestic product of England in 13,334 times. Well, and it is the moments. But on the other hand, let's talk about the Benjamin Netanyahu's points. Here, Benjamin Netanyahu's fuel system is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Here, 1 gram, here 1 kilograms artificial solar arc reactor contains what? That is almost the cost of 10 United States dollars. Well, well, 10 United States dollars is the cost of 1 kilogram of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 400 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But now let's see, when we would talk about the real weight measurement that was 55.125 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six 655 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 200 multiplied by 10 to the power positive triple six degrees Celsius. And what would be the cost? The cost would be 55.125 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six 654 United States dollars. That is less than 1 United States cent. Well, that means it would be just a free of cost for Israeli Christian soldiers to eliminate Iranian revolutionary terrorists in well Bandar Abbas port of Iran. Well, now when we can see 1 United States cent is the cost from Israeli Christian soldiers with F-16 fighter planes to eliminate here Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas port of Iran. But what about British Christian soldiers? It cost 9,000 United States dollars. Well, now where is 1 United States cent and where is 9,000 United States dollars? Where purpose is same to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists. But at the same time, well, Israeli Netanyahu purpose is to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas, port of Iran, where Prime Minister of England Keir Starmer contains a purpose to protect Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists. Hence, we could see the significant points. The protector of Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists, Keir Starmer can spend the cost of 40 quadrillion United States dollars. That is, here we could see that is the destruction of gross domestic product of England in 13,334 times. And now, in these points, here is my questions. And the question is, who is Antichrist? Keir Starmer or Benjamin Netanyahu? And here I think Keir Starmer is an Antichrist. And here we can see the points. Well, accordance with Revelation Bibles, here we can see the moments. Antichrist would contains 7 head, where every head is the dragon heads. Here, every dragon heads represents the Antichrist empires or Antichrist ruling ideology. Well, one is Bangladeshi. One is Bangladesh. Second is Iran. Third is Russia. Fourth is Venezuela. Well, fifth is African poor country like Somalia, Kenya, Sudan. Six is Afghanistan, and the seven is here Western woke politics. Well, here Keir Starmer is one of dragon head of Antichrist. where Keir Starmer is a part of Western woke politics, where Western woke politics is against the Western nationalism. Okay, and now let's check it the moments and what we can see the points. Well, one dragon's head of Antichrist would always protect the another dragon heads of Antichrist. And where we could see here what is one Antichrist dragons, that is Iranian revolutionary terrorist. And what is another Antichrist dragons, that is Kirstammers. And what is at stake? The gross domestic products of England. Well, and here we can see the points. But on the other hand, well, work politics of in Israel would be considered as an a part of work politics in Western country. But now here topic is the significant points. Well, now when we can say the points of the topics here, what is gross domestic products of Israel? The gross domestic product of Israel is 4,000, I apologize, 400 billion United States dollars, according with the calendar of 2026. Well, and here we can say what is the cost of uh, 55.125 multiplied by 10 to the power negative triple six 655 kilogram of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiple, I mean 400 multiplied by 10 to the power triple six degrees Celsius, that is less than 1 United States cent. Well, as a round figure we can say 1 United States cent. Now here we can see the points. Netanyahu spent 1 United States cent to eliminate as a fuel cost to eliminate Iranian revolutionary naval terrorist in Bandar Abbas, where gross domestic product of Israel is 400 billion United States dollars. That means, here we can say the points. Benjamin Netanyahu is protecting the entire gross domestic product of Israel. But when where purpose is to protect Iranian revolutionary naval terrorists in Bandar Abbas, Keir Starmer is spending 40 quadrillion United States dollars, where gross domestic product of England is 3 trillion United States dollars. That means Keir Starmer is destroying gross domestic product of England in 13,334 times. And now here we can see these moments. Well, who is Antichrist? Benjamin Netanyahu or Keir Starmer? That is our significant questions. And now here question is two significance, and as we can see the points of it. Okay. Now here I think so here we can say the points. But now let's check it the moments. What if the distance of the the flying distance between London, the capital city of England, and Bandar Abbas, the port of Iran, is for 20,000 kilometers. Now let's check it the points at the moments. Here, flying distance would here Antichrist flying velocity of Keir F-35 plane would be 20,000 km per seconds. And now, well, what is 20,000 square? That is 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 entire square. That is 4 multiplied by 10 to the power. Okay, here we can see the points. 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. Okay. Now let's check it at the moments. When we can see the topics, I think here we can calculate as a 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 square, that is 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. Now let's check it, the moments. Well, let's divide 40 quadrillion United States dollars. I mean, 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 need divided by, well, 16 money multiplied by 10 to the power 12. That is here 1 divided 4, 1 divided by 4 enter multiple by 10 to the power 5. Okay. And now let's check it. Let's calculate at the points. That is 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. That is, we can see the points 1 divided 4 enter multiple by, okay, yes, 0.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 quadrillions. I think I would say that is the moments. And here, let's check it the points. Okay. Well, here we can see 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 liter of petrol. Okay. Now here we can see what is 4 multiplied by what is 4 square? That is 16. What is 10 to the power 6? Well, here we can see 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 divided by, here 4 square is 16 and 6 square is 12. Okay. Now let's multiple by here. What is 2 square? That is 4. And what is 7 multiplied by 2? That is 14. Okay. And now let's check it. We can calculate 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 here multiple by 4, multiple by 10 square, and here we can write here all divided by 16, and here we can see the points 0.5 multiple by 10 to the power 18. Okay. That is here 500 quadrillion United States dollars. If the work British F-35 plane velocity would be 20,000 kilometer per second. And here we can see that is the expenditure on petrols. Well, now let's check it. 500,000 divided by 3 is almost near to 600,000 divided by 3. That is 200,000 times of destruction of gross domestic of England, or gross domestic products of England, that can be created by Keir Starmer. That means Keir Starmer can destroy the gross domestic product of England in 200,000 times for the expenditure of petrol to contains the velocity of 20,000 km per second to protect the Iranian revolutionary naval terrorist, where Iranian revolutionary naval terrorist is the enemy of the sovereignty of Christian country England. Now here is my questions. Who is Antichrist? Keir Starmer or Benjamin Netanyahu? And here we can say here is probable one answer, that is Keir Starmer is Antichrist for England. Here today it is the today's lecture for the Easter Sunday. Okay. Now here we can see. Let's we can talk about to roast Keir Starmer as a compare to another prime minister of another country. Now, see you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you.